I know that Lithuanian isn't playing. I just know that Rixa, Purple, and Alex are, and Lithuanian has a stand-in. Alright, so Red is going to go with... Oh, she actually goes with Wraith. Wow, that's interesting. Starting off with Wraith, that is bold, I will not lie. So we have Rixa and Shadow Dragon. Okay, so Shadow Dragon is playing. Rixa and Shadow Dragon working on the first gen here with our school bus. And, let's see, Red is still cloaked. She's coming up on them. They still don't see her, but she still has to go. She's not able to hit them just yet. Wow, Shadow Dragon already hit. Let's see. She actually bell. Wow, she ends up belling. Maybe gets a little bit of speed so that she can go after Purple here. I'm assuming. Yeah, Purple. Let's see how this plays out. We have D Shadow Lord and Purple over here at the Pallet Loop. Let's see what Red ends up doing. Completely wastes a pallet. Purple, maybe a little confused as to why Red left. I'm assuming she would get chased, she just threw it down. And that just didn't work in her favor. So she's gonna run off. Let's see what Red's doing. Red's actually gonna be chasing Shadow Lord. Shadow Lord gonna be wasting a pallet, but not really a waste because Red did respect it. Actually cloaks and goes in the direction of Purple. Purple breaking that totem. It's gonna be found, but it's just so cheap. It's just uncloak every 2 seconds. It's just not really what you want. She chose it, but nonetheless, she's gonna be getting the down on Purple. See if she chooses to hook. Yep, ends up hooking Purple immediately. 2 gens already done. And she's just not gonna... Quite a few gens on this side actually brought to a pretty high level, making it harder for her to kind of build up momentum and build up the pressure for the survivors. But she does have one on the hook, and she is cloaked, going to the complete opposite side. A little bit of a taunt there by Shadow Lord, but she's going to be finding Rixa here. Oh no, not Rixa, sorry. Shadow Dragon going to be getting the hit on him. But that definitely going to be able to get away, but let's see if she's able to do something to Shadow Lord. Is he going to use his pallet? No? Seems like she can. Wow, I'm a little confused at her game plan here. Maybe I'll just stay on her to see what she decides to do. So she is going to be chasing... What is this? Shadow Dragon. Pardon me. I think he can see the names. She is going to be sticking to Shadow Dragon. Let's see if she's able to get the down. And she is by a pallet loop, but she actually chooses to run away and go for Rixa. Rixa in a tight situation here with only one pallet. Let's see what he decides to do. Wow, goes down a little early. No fake, I know, but he will gain some distance. She will have to play. Let's see what she decides to do next. Right on Rix's tail. Oh wow! Great movement by Red. Actually reads right through Rix's game plan there. We'll be getting the second hook of the game with 3 gens left. No respect. Shadow Lord maybe being a little bit cocky with the pointing. Purple found here, not yet hit, but maybe going down or maybe getting hit. Yep, definitely in a tight spot now. What? I don't know what I'm watching. I'm gonna be frank. I don't know what I'm watching. We see Purple down in a pallet, so there may be hope for her, but Shadow Lord getting hit doesn't leave much room for Rixa to get, or I'm sorry, Purple to get picked up. Rixa is hurt. Going over to see what he can do. Purple ends up getting up anyway. Well. Okay. I think it's fair to say that the game is in shambles. Shadow Dragon is going to be hooked, I'm assuming, for the second time. And everybody else healed up except for Shadow Lord. Let's see what's getting done there. He does get healed up and opts to hide in a closet and make noise. Obviously, Red's going to be right there, you know, right on his tail with all that noise, but let's see what the game plan is. Red loses him. Red actually loses Shadow Lord. Wow. Rixa sneaking over here to try and pull him off, but Red, cloaked right behind him, isn't going to be so sneaky. Rixa's going to have to run off, and Shadow Lord is going to get a little bit tangled with Rixa here. Let's see what Purple's doing. Purple actually working on a gen. Shadow Dragon may get to second stage. That would not be good for him. And I should mention that there's only one gen left, and I think there's only been 3 hooks. This is not the way that Red would want her first game to go. She does get the hit on Rixa, leaving Shadow Dragon to get healed by Shadow Lord. Name a more iconic duo. Purple's going to be finishing that last gen, putting Red in a very tight situation. Just barely misses the hit on Rixa, which would have put him into the downstage. This is interesting for Rixa, but I can't say it's much interesting for the game because the gates are popped and Rixa is down. 3 people, 3 survivors, untouched, ready to make something happen. There's a pallet right there. Can't go straight through that. That would be, this man's life. Wow, actually blocks and gets straight off. That's great thinking from Shadow Lord there. Rix is going to be able to gain some distance with Shadow Lord right on his back protecting him, but the pallet doesn't stun, but does stop Red. A little bit of respect there so that she doesn't waste any more time. Nonetheless, I'm sure the doors are getting open. Oh no, Purple and Shadow Dragon both doing their own thing. Shadow Dragon finding a flashlight that could come in useful later in the round. I think he's just looking for objective because he is searching crates. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of serious gameplay going on. Like I said, it was shambles from the beginning. But we are going to see Red's best efforts hitting Shadow Lord. Sending him flying. Oh, I'm sorry, Rixa. One of the 2. I wasn't there to see it. But it's now going to be Shadow Lord running from Red. Able to get away briefly. Actually chooses to sabotage. This game is something else. Shadow Dragon actually just doing his daily cardio in the basement. I'm a little confused as to what's going on in this game. Not really what you want in your first casting deal, you know? Yeah. But it is what it is. Red is actually going to be hooking Rixa. I think this is his death hook, actually. I hope not, for the sake of Rixa, but I could not be more off. It's actually his second hook. And wow, Red is face camping. Moment, then runs off. See Shadow Lord downturn him in. But as we can see, this is Purple sneaking up to get the save on Rixa. This is shambles. I cannot imagine Red getting very many points from this game. I can't really imagine the survivors getting very many points, but a successful escape is in the near future. Actually, Shadow Lord does go down. Let's see what hook stage he's on. This might be the end for him. Shadow Lord trying to make use of that flashlight. Second hook. There still is hope for Shadow Lord, but with Red right here. Not even choosing to hit Shadow Dragon. That's interesting. This is a shocker, this game. I can't say I know exactly what's going on. There's face camping, tunneling, just yeah. I'm just as shocked as you are, to be honest. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Red is going to be picking up purple. 2 survivors escaped. Let's see if the flashlight side is coming in hot. No. It's just Shadow Lord and purple. Purple going to be hooked. Let's see what Shadow Lord can do with Red right on her tail. Like I said, folks, this is pretty shambles. I can't see anything good coming out of this game. Red having to uncloak. Not getting the burn. Shadow Lord actually gets hit instead. This may result in 2 kills for Red if she decides to go for it. Can't imagine the worth, but it seems like it is gonna happen. Shadow Lord trying to fake out that window there, but ends up getting down by Red. Yeah, it is not looking great for these 2. It's not really looking great for either of the 3. Red did not have the best game, but neither did these 2. Let's swiftly back away from this shambles match. We have purple getting 18,534. Shadow Lord getting 16,199. We have Rixa getting 16,151. 14,066 for Shadow Dragon, and a 30K game for Red. Wow. Okay, so Tavion decides to go with Myers this game. And of course we have the same 4 survivors: Shadow Lord, Rixa, Purple, and Shadow Dragon. 2 shadows.
2 shadows.
Let's see if this can be a little bit more eventful than the last game.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Shadow Lord and Shadow Dragon are replacement survivors for the other 2 survivors that would be participating, Alex and Lithuanian, but they couldn't make it to today's game for reasons I've not been given to.
That is correct, and we have Tavion getting a hit on Tier 1 and then opting to go straight to Tier 2. Purple is going to be using 2 pallets in a pallet loop to back to back to try and get away desperately. Actually wastes the pallet shack. That was a very far away respect from Tavion. This chase may be a bit short for Purple, going down right in the basement. This could be really fatal to the group of survivors.
Indeed, it also gives a great start for Tavion. He doesn't have to worry about the shack pallet anymore, which gives him more freedom.
Yeah, that's perfect. He did get, during that chase, he did get 1 gen taken from him, but I am confident that he'll be able to bounce back from that.
I wouldn't call this a loss either.
Yeah, he seems to be headed in the right direction. He's trying to stalk around the area to see if there's anybody ready to pounce on the save for Purple, but it seems like it's gonna be slim pickings for chases. Oh, he does see a bit of scratches going towards the far side of the map, but I don't know if that's further or closer. We do have Shadow Lord running straight towards the shack, but a little close to Myers. That may be risky. Myers did see him. Yep. Myers did see Shadow Lord just a tad. Tries to fake the window, Shadow Lord does, but ends up getting hit in the process. We have Purple being saved by Rixa and Shadow Dragon. It's going to be a healing party down here in the basement. Let's see what happens with our boy. Oh, actually, Myers decides to go straight down to the basement, maybe playing a little bit of Myers, or Basement Myers, but he is able to be ran straight through considering he's stalking. Since there was a healing party, it turns out that only Purple is hit, and since Tavion wasn't on tier 3, he's not able to fully experience the Basement Myers, not get all the juicy hits, if you know what I mean.
The stairs did give him a good build up on his evil within though, and let's see what use he will make out of it. Well, never mind. He just used it.
Yeah, he decides to use it on Rixa. Let's see where he hooks him. He's going to be hooking him towards this giant thing. Seeing Shadow Lord in the process. And Shadow Dragon. Oh, no, just Shadow Lord. He actually decides to let Shadow Lord run away, and he decides to break a gen.
Interesting. Staying
around the hook with the tier 3 so that he can use it to its full advantage. Rixa is actually saved. Just a few studs away from Myers. That's a ballsy move from whoever saved him. I wasn't able to see, but we do have both Shadows, Shadow Dragon and Shadow Lord, running around him, taunting him, practically. Doing a gen directly in his face. Oh, a Reefy Tech comes through, and Tavion is completely lost. Wow! That was great movement. That was amazing movement from Shadow Lord.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It just happened for me.
Man, Shadow Lord might be feeling himself with that one. Purple is going to be finishing the 3rd gen here, and Rixa may be going down. Actually does go down. A gen gets done directly when she is hit. He is hit. It is hit. Whatever it is.
Okay, that's 3 generators for 2 hooks so far. So the game is turning more and more into the survivor's favor.
Yes, it is heading more south for Tavion. Let's see if he can switch it around, or if he's just gonna opt to do his best and give up the 4K. Purple is hit, but so is Shadow Lord. They're using the same pallet loop. But let's see if Myers decides to go race car gamer. Actually decides to tier 3. Wow. With 2 wounded survivors in front of him, he decides to tier 3.
Which is an interesting strategy in order to gain as many points as possible, because Shape himself has troubles gaining points in deviousness.
Yeah.
He basically needs the 4K in order to maximize his points there.
Exactly. it is a beneficial choice, but at the same time it may be risky considering he won't have that for long when he's protecting Purple on the hook. Actually, Shadow Lord does go down to that tier 3 while being hit, so that's 2 survivors on the hook and only 1 gen left. Shadow Dragon taking off Purple. Maybe choosing to heal him. Let's see. Nope. Decides to run a little bit further to gain some safety.
Don't wanna risk getting slapped by tier 3 Myers.
Yes, of course. But he doesn't actually have any tier. He doesn't have any tier charge, so this may be interesting. I think this is going in the survivor's favor. I can't see Tavion doing much more. Maybe getting a kill if he's lucky, but there are scratches leading towards the hook, but I don't think none of them are gonna lead him towards... Oh, they might. Tavion does see that Shadow Lord gets taken off the hook. He might tunnel, actually missing the swing. That's great movement from Shadow Lord, as we've seen in earlier instances. That is just pure auto aim from Tavion. Not necessarily getting a clean smack there on Shadow Lord, but Shadow Lord is going to be going straight to the hook, and the flashlight attempt is coming through from Purple, or I'm sorry, Rixa. It's not going to be beneficial to Shadow Lord, but an attempt nonetheless. Shadow Lord's on his second hook, so there is still hope for him, but Tavion's opting to stay in this general vicinity.
Yeah, with 1 generator remaining and 4 survivors alive, he should really try to get rid of one of them.
Yes, of course. And they're deciding just to run straight at him. This may be just a bit of troll. I'm not sure how experienced Tavion is with Myers, but it seems like they're just running circles around him practically and making him look rather inferior as a killer. Shadow Dragon is hit, but tier 3 is not charged up to be... Oh, actually, yes, it's about 3/4 of the way, and he is going to be running for him while stalking at the same time to have that extra tier 3 just in case. A pallet is wasted, and he does turn on his tier 3 regardless of him being Shadow Dragon being injured. And the gates are open. This is interesting. Shadow Dragon is going to have to get away from the faster Myers, who is actually tier 3'd up, but he is injured, so it doesn't seem like it would affect him at all. Tavion is respecting these pallets like women. Wow. Not really giving any boldness for that.
He is short on time as well, so
yeah, of
he
course.
can't really waste time getting stunned by any of them.
Of course, he can't really risk that. His destruction, his deviousness, I'm sure his deviousness is doing okay, but I'm sure it's not full circle yet. We'll have to wait to see. Survivor found is full circle. Survivors found is full circle, his hunter, but I don't think he's going to be able to max that out.
I don't think so either.
I'm not sure if he'll be able to max out anything, but it is a great attempt from Tavion. I wish I had been keeping track of the hooks, but he does get a hit on Shadow Lord. I'm sure she's dead, or he's dead. Shadow Dragon being healed by Purple or Rixa, is it? Purple. And they are going to be able to exit. So they have entered the exit area, so they cannot turn back, and they did exit. So Purple and Shadow Dragon are out of the game. It is now just Rixa and Shadow Lord trying to make the best of a situation that is more or less in their favor.
Let's just hope for the two of them that one of them doesn't make a mistake and ends up on the hook.
Of course, and I'm sure they are being quite competitive for the hatch, but it doesn't seem like Tavion's going to worry about that too much as he's swiping at the sky with his knife, not really worried about finding another player. He is still on tier 3, but all of the survivors have left the game. And that's an end to a great game. Tavion only getting 19k. Not exactly what you would want in a league.
He did not seem really happy either at the end.
Of course not, you know. I mean, how could you be? That's not a score you would really look forward to, but nonetheless we have We have Shadow Dragon with 24k. We have Rixa with 19k, Shadow Lord with 15k, and Purple with 14k. And we actually see Mr. Porkchop. I'm fixing it just in the nick of time because Mr. Porkchop does get the hit on Purple. Purple's going to be using this pallet to jump, loop him around. Let's see what Mr. Porkchop decides to do in this situation, with Purple making great use of the pallet and just great intelligence overall. Wow. Purple is very good at looping this pallet, making Mr. Porkchop a little eager to get the kill, and actually does get the hit, downing Purple. 1 gen done. Pretty much the same pattern of last game. 1 survivor goes on the hook, 1 gen gets done. As we can see, they changed the outfit, so I'm not sure who that is actually. That's Shadow Dragon taunting Porkchop just a bit. Actually, I'm sorry, Shadow Lord taunting Porkchop just a bit. And Purple is going to be going in the basement. Let's see if he's actually able to wiggle off. There was a hit there and a long walk. Wow, just barely wiggles off. Purple's going to be able to run as far as he can before Mr. Porkchop goes straight back up the stairs. Let's see if the pallet gets used. Wow, 72 special. Oh! I'm a bit confused of what I just saw.
Oh, this is a recent bug that's been floating around. It basically shows the killer at the other side of the pallet when they are really still at this, well, at the other side. That sounded weird.
That's wow. That's a wow moment. I'm sure it sucks for Purple, but really beneficial to Porkchop. He's gonna be cloaking up. He's gonna be seeing Rixa here. Let's see this chase commence, and let's see what can come of it. Actually gets the stun on Porkchop, Rixa does, and able to run further away. Knowing that Purple is taken off of the hook, he's gonna cloak up and go straight back to the basement. With the pallet used, I don't know how much, you know, how long they'd be able to run from Porkchop in that general area, but wow. So I think that's Shadow Lord. Shadow Lord just running circles around Mr. Porkchop. Actually does an amazing technique under the window and just completely baffles him. This is quite embarrassing for Mr. Porkchop, but a great depiction of skill seen here from Shadow Lord.
This is basically Shadow Lord as a survivor.
Yeah, he likes great at it.
He really likes to play around with the killer.
Yeah, if you're good at it, there's no reason not to.
Exactly.
Shadow Dragon actually getting hit instead of using the vacuum to pull into the pallet. How strange. Gonna get some ground on Shadow Dragon. Let's see if it actually is it down. Wastes a pallet. I don't think Porkchop decides to break it though. That might be his downfall. There may be a lot of time for Shadow Dragon just to gain more and more ground. And yep, that's exactly what happens. Mr. Porkchop is now near... Oh, actually, Mr. Porkchop is still chasing Shadow Dragon, but he is very far away from him. So I'm not sure how this will go down, but Shadow Dragon is keeping great pace and keeping great distance so that he doesn't go down. Hiding behind a rock here. Trying to walk as much as he can, but ends up having to run because he is spotted by Mr. Porkchop. He's going to be going straight towards this pallet area. Let's see what he opts to do. Actually, no pallet in that little window there, or that little space, so he is going to get hit. Shadow Dragon is going to be going on his first hook, I'd want to say.
It is his first hook.
His first hook. So we understand that Purple's been hooked once, Shadow's been hooked once. Let's see. 2 gens left, so that's 3. And 1 survivor on the hook. That's only 2 hooks, 3 gens left. That is in great favor for the survivors. I'm not sure if this is going to be a rerun of last game. Seems like it.
We will have to wait and see, however.
Yeah. Shadow Dragon is actually going to be seeing the 2 survivors here. I think they might have had enough time to heal, but Shadow Lord toying with the killer as always, able to get the 360, then the stun. Makes a grave mistake in slow vaulting and actually just gets destroyed by Porkchop. He's going to go on his second hook, or rather, his first rather. So that's 3 hooks and 2 gems left. Let's see if anybody's working on one. No, they're more or less just focusing on getting the heals up. Purple gonna be healing Shadow Dragon here. Rixa gonna try and go for the save on Shadow Lord.
Immersive Claudette sneaking her way up to the hook.
Yeah, she actually does get the save and opts to go for the heal as well. Rixa, maybe the more quiet, more, you know.
The Gen Fairy.
Yeah. She's more what you would expect in a survivor, not really the flashy 360s, or he, rather, the flashy 360s, the reefy techs, the 72s, you know.
I know.
Just playing it safe. Crouching around trees. Well, Shadow Lord over here just making toy out of Porkchop, to say the least. Slow vaults the window. That completely throws Porkchop off. I'm not even sure if he's able. He actually checks a closet because of that. That's funny. Just completely throws Porkchop off. He might be feeling a little distressed because of that. He's actually going to choose to break the pallet. Let's see what his destruction is at. Wow, that seems like it's about 2/4 of the way, maybe half of 3. Maybe 3/4 of the way. He is going to be cloaked, running up to Shadow Dragon here. He gets burned by Shadow Dragon with a spooky flashlight, and the gens are popped at the same time. All survivors are healed up. Porkchop is completely confused, and the doors are going to get opened. Porkchop not giving us the most impressive show, but the survivors rather, are doing a great job at what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, but as mentioned before, Porkchop is actually colorblind to the color red, and he cannot see the scratch marks as well as other killers do.
Of course, yeah, and you got to keep that in mind for Porkchop. But you know, in a league like this, it's hard to sympathize, you know, because everybody wants that top spot, you know, with all the prizes, and it's just
exactly.
It may not turn out well for Porkchop, and I feel for the guy, but
it might not.
Yeah. What's important is that he's doing his best. Rixa actually goes down to Porkchop. I'm not sure how many times they've been hooked, but there are 3 survivors ready to make altruistic plays.
Rixa would be on his first hook now.
Yeah, first hooked, so that's great for the survivors, actually giving them a lot of time to make something happen. Porkchop's going to be cloaked around looking to see if anybody is just crouched, and actually 2 survivors come out of nowhere. That's Rixa and Shadow Dragon. I'm sorry, Purple and Shadow Dragon.
Flashlight burn and the save for Rixa.
Wow. Not sure if that's what colorblindness does, but Porkchop's swinging at nothing. Rixa making great use of that pallet, while Shadow Dragon heal up Well, Shadow Dragon and Purple heal up Shadow Lord. Rixa is actually going to be going down, so this might be his second hook. I don't think that Pork Chop is going to worry too much about the survivors running around him, just dancing around him, rather. I think
He really wants to get that hook in.
Exactly. Wow!
Again,
Shadow Dragon does get this flashlight save on Rixa, so that might be their plan of escape. I think they're going to use that to its as much as they can. Yep, and actually Rixa is going to escape. And there's going to be 3 players at the exit gate. As soon as you walk in, you cannot walk back out, so they're being cautious of that.
And the hatch is next to the exit gate as well.
Yep, Shadow Dragon probably going to be Shadow Dragon or Shadow Lord, excuse me. Wow, I didn't even notice. Purple did get hit when trying to escape, and Pork Chop is going to put Purple straight on a hook. Technical difficulties? I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Seems like it. I can hear you.
Seems a little bit laggy, I'm sorry, that might be on my end. With the game almost over, I'm sure it might not be too bad. I'm gonna do my best to cast this and maybe fix that. You can't hear me, correct?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, perfect. Everybody but Shadow Dragon hit here. Purple and Shadow Lord have to make great use of time. Or the pallet, rather. But it turns out Purple is going to get hit while vaulting. And he is going to get put on a hook. I think this is his last hook. Am I wrong? Or is this his second? Purple may be dead.
It is Purple's second hook.
No, yep, this is Purple's death hook. Purple is dead, and yep, now it's just Shadow Lord and Shadow Dragon. Let's see what the iconic duo can do.
My bad, man.
In these final moments. No, you're good. Shadow Dragon is gonna leaving Shadow Lord to go for the hatch, and let's see how that plays out. Actually, Mr. Pork Chop is just gonna give it to Shadow Lord. Shadow Lord jumping straight in the face of Mr. Pork Chop. They all got relatively the same scores, except Shadow Dragon and Shadow Lord. The iconic duo doing a little bit better than most. 27k on Shadow Dragon, 26k on Shadow Lord, 20k on Rixa, 16k on Purple, and 20k on Mr. Pork Chop. Here we are.
Or if the curse of behavior will befall us and the game will suddenly uninstall itself.
Huh. Mr. Draconator deciding to go with Doctor. A pretty OP killer, although I don't know much about him.
That's going to be an interesting game then.
Right off the bat, he finds Purple, giving him a little zap. Shadow Lord, Shadow Dragon, and Rixa all working on their own gen. While Draken chases Purple. This is good for Draken, but at the same time, the survivors are getting all of their own gens done. So if they can do that while Purple is getting chased, that's 3 gens done. 3 gens done right off the bat.
Which would be a terrible scenario for Mr. Draconator himself.
Yeah, that would be terrible. That would not give him much time to do what killers do best. Shadow Lord actually pops so many skill checks on that gen. And is found by the Doctor, but the Doctor is going to get a hit on him. And Shadow Lord is going to keep getting shocked. He's not really going to be able to throw it on the pallet if he's shocked, so this may not end in his favor. Draken doing a great job on keeping up momentum and getting hits. 5 gens left, and Purple decides to go and look for a medkit in the basement, but only comes out with a flashlight. Still something that can be used in the future. 1 gen actually does get left, so there's 4 gens left and 2 players hit. None of them hooked, however. So they do miss a skill check on snapping out of it, and their location is given. Shadow Lord, that is. Shadow Lords, that is. With the doctor right on her tail, I can't imagine her staying up much longer. No pallets around this area. It's more the T&L wall.
This looks like a safe down.
Yeah. This is a down. Draken getting his first hook of the day. Let's see. Like I said, he is keeping up great pace. He's done better in the beginning than any of the killers so far. Of course, that may be because the doctor is just so overpowered with his M2.
Yeah, he basically brings a Deerstalker perk to the game, which gives him a great advantage in comparison to the other killers.
Of course, of
in
course.
finding the survivors early on.
Not only that, but it makes it really hard for them to pallet loop, considering his M2 shocks them for about 2 seconds before they can even do anything.
Yeah, you really have to change your playstyle a little in order to properly face the doctor.
Of course, and unfortunately that's... Ooh. So he does get the pallet down. Purple gets the pallet down, but he is going to be going down here, or getting hit here, sorry, by Draken. Making his best to use the T&L wall, or doing his best, sorry.
Getting stuck on a tree as well.
Yeah, that ended up being his downfall, getting him hit. The Draken lunges and hits Purple when he's stuck on a barrel. I would be furious if I was Purple. You know.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Yeah, that sucks for him. He's gonna be getting hooked though, but Rixa and Shadow Lord making great time and getting this gen done, so that was leaving 3. I can't help but see an unspoken bond between Shadow Dragon and Shadow Lord. They kind of just mess around with each other most of the games that I've watched them play together. Rixa's gonna try and get that save because altruism isn't guaranteed in league matches, especially when there's no communications. Shadow, both of the shadows healing each other up and then finishing a gen. Rixa actually decides
moving up for the save.
Of course, yeah. Rixa actually decides to be completely silent and be a little sneakier on the doctor, and then decides to run right in front of him. I'm a little confused. I'm not sure if you just saw that.
I just saw it, yeah.
Yeah. Rixa is gonna be around the crane area, so he is she is gonna have to use his pallet quickly before he's stunned for the next 2 seconds. Shadow Lord just creeping around with a flashlight, ready to get that down for Rixa. Get that flashlight save.
And there's the unhook.
There is the unhook. Purple's gonna try his best to snap out of it because being in a psychotic state really sucks when you're trying to stay hidden. Yeah, the doctor is a very overpowered killer. I'm not sure personally if I would change anything about him just because I haven't really gone against him or been him much. So I wouldn't just go around asking for changes, but from what I've seen, he does do damage and he does it well.
Yeah, many people, he has a fun history with the community. Yeah, good morning English. Basically, as he started out, he was pretty much weaker as he is now. His snap out of it, his tier 3, wouldn't cause random skill checks to appear, and also wouldn't cause those palette illusions to appear. Only thing you had was the inability to basically work on stuff. Including to that, the switching speed between the 2 modes was way slower, and survivors could easily gain distance on him.
And as we can see here, Rixa not really being able to use that that window because of the stuns. And we see Shadow Dragon getting hit and running straight into a hook. That's never fun. Draken just trying to make the best out of his M2. Make sure these survivors can't really pallet loop, jump over windows, or use TNL walls. He's just coming short with the shocks.
Yeah, shocking the survivors a lot is good. You just should ensure that you're close enough.
Wow. He goes for a swing and a miss on Shadow Lord. Purple getting in the mix, trying to... Wow, he ends up getting hit because he's stunned, so he can't really throw down a pallet right directly behind him, so that ends up screwing him in the long run. Wow.
Yeah, it just happened for me.
He actually gets pulled off the pallet because he couldn't go over it. Oh wow, that's his flashlight save.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen much of Shadow Lord and I haven't really heard his name very much, but he's a very good survivor. I think him and JT sort of have the same. Shadow Lord may be a little bit more flashy, and JT might have quite a bit more intelligence, but I think the two are very good survivors and comparable.
Yeah, both are really good at what they are doing.
Yeah. As we see Purple going down because he was trying to use that pallet to his advantage, that ends up getting mind gamed by Draken. Draken making great use of his S key, just moving back and forth, making him think he's going to be on one side when he's really on the other. I heard Shadow Lord try to go for that flashlight save, but I don't think he quite had an angle.
Previously it would have worked, but after changing the angle, it doesn't anymore, sadly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Purple's on his second hook, 2 gens left, and they're not really getting done fast. Rixa is going to get shocked. He is going to get found at the same time. A gen getting done, leaving 1 left with Purple still on the hook. A save needs to come in sooner or later. And the last gen does need to get done. That would greatly benefit the survivors. Draken actually gets 360'd by Rixa. Maybe a little bit of a short swing, but at the same time a dodge from the left. Rixa does get hit. Running straight towards the house shack type thing. 360's Draken. Using these TNL walls perfectly, but ends up getting hit straight through the window because he couldn't vault fast enough. Oh, Vacuum, how I miss you. Wow, okay, he's gonna try and go for the flashlight save again, but Shadow Lord is just not... He's barely gonna miss it. Putting Rixa on the hook. Like I said, 1 gen left. Purple healed up and saved. Rixa on the hook, Shadow Lord running further away, and Shadow Dragon coming over to make something happen, but nobody's working on a generator. So nobody going for Rixa, but of course how are they to know that? Rixa is going to be getting saved right here by Shadow Dragon. Not going to go for the heal because he is way too close. The dragon is actually right there. Shadow Dragon tries to go. Wow. Okay, so Shadow Dragon does get the attention taken onto him. I thought it was going to go a little bit different. I thought he was just going to I thought Draken was going to completely ignore Dragon and just go for Rixa and get that kill, but it seems like he is actually going to go for Shadow Dragon.
An interesting choice in this current situation with 1 gen remaining.
Yeah, very interesting. Rixa would be the death, and that would take a lot of pressure off of the killer, but I just don't think it's something that he'd really want to do, considering, you know, Dragon is one of the strong suits of the team. Both Dragons, actually. So it might be beneficial to put him on the hook, but at the same time, you have... Oh, I don't think Shadow Lord's going to be able to get an angle for that flash save at all.
I doubt it.
Yeah, the only thing now is for a block, but that doesn't even come in fast enough because Shadow Dragon gets straight on the hook. Straight on the hook. With Purple, Rixa, and Shadow Lord trying to save him, 2 of them are injured. That is Shadow Lord and Rixa. So it's really up to Purple to make a play here, and he does. So Purple takes Shadow Dragon off and actually goes for the save. Or, sorry, the heal. And that's going to leave 2 healed survivors and 2 damaged ones. And 1 gen left.
Yeah.
The Memento has been knocked out, which I have to give to Draken. But at the same time, he has no kills yet. So I doubt this is going to be a 4K, but a great game nonetheless. He has plenty of deviousness, plenty of hunted, or whatever those are called.
I'm pretty sure that he secured the 2nd place of his bracket by now, but we'll see. Maybe if this game continues for a little bit longer, he might get the 1st place.
Of course. It is a better game than we've seen in previous rounds. It's either been quick or just baffling, to be honest with you. Red's game, I did not think she was going to get such a high score, but she did get 30k, and that's actually pretty impressive.
It is, yeah, especially with the Wraith.
Especially with the Wraith on this map, it's insane. Well, now we just see Draken along his side of the map trying to find a survivor, but he doesn't seem to be able to. And we have Shadow Lord healing up Rixa at the shack, flashlight in hand, as he's been able to use it greatly earlier in the round. 1 gen left, and we have Shadow Dragon working on about 3/4 of the gen. He's going to get shocked by the Doctor, and he's going to have to run away further and further from the gen. Let's see if the Doctor decides to chase him or break the gen. He decides to chase him. Gets the hit on him, but I think Purple is using his noggin there, and he's going to run straight back to the gen. Oh, nope. Purple decides to chase after the Doctor. I have no idea what he's doing. They should be working on gens. There's only 1 left.
I'm pretty sure he tries to build up his boldness as well, but in the current scenario, it's, as you already said, not the right idea to do.
Of course. It may be more beneficial just to get that last gen done and then work on the extra points. If people decide to leave, they decide to leave, but at the same time, at least we have a solid wave of exit. Draken is going to be lunging, on Dragon. I think this might be the end of Dragon if he opts to pick him up, but he decides to M2 on Shadow Lord. Shadow Lord gets hit, flashlight in hand, and I think this may be the end for Shadow Dragon. They're trying their best to block the hook, but I don't think that's going to come in. Actually, it does come in. All 3 survivors at the hook. Let's see if Shadow Lord actually decides to go down. I doubt he will. That's an extra hit because he hits the pole. Decides to drop Shadow Dragon and gets 360'd by Purple. This is just shambles for Draken. But he does have 1 survivor on the floor, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to wiggle off. Wow. Maybe not the best mouse control and swinging, but does get the down nonetheless.
There it is.
That is going to be Purple on the hook. Let's see if it's his last. It is his last, and Purple is going to go down, leaving Shadow Dragon, Shadow Lord, and Rixa with 1 gen.
And now would be the best time to actually pop the generator and get those exit gates open.
Of course, but Draken actually decides to damage the 99. I'm not sure if they're working on one. Let's go ahead and figure that out. It might be a good idea to scroll through some players here. Shadow Dragon is going to get picked up. I'm pretty sure this is his last hook, but I cannot be 100% certain. Draken is making great use of this end game. Wow. It's a very interesting approach. I don't think he has much of a strategy going on, but he is getting stuff done.
He is getting his points in, indeed.
Yeah.
The hatch has been found as well by Survivor and Killer, so let's see what he will make of that, if it should open.
This isn't the end for Shadow Dragon. Rixa is able to take him off. Injured as well, they're going to have to heal up together. Doctor being miles away is going to be slowly making his way back, but he is on the tail of Shadow Lord. Let's see if Shadow Lord can come get some heals from these two. Maybe snap themselves out of their delirium.
Now with 2 people working on a generator, I believe this is going to be the one-way pop.
Yeah. And the doctor is near them. Not really seeing. Actually sees Rixa behind the tree. Does not see Shadow Lord, so that leaves Shadow Lord with enough time to fix the gen. Both Shadows actually going to fix that gen, and the gates are going to be popped, but not yet open. Only Rixa being hit. Both Shadows have a chance to make something happen. Shadow Lord actually is going to try to go for the flashlight save, but let's see if he can make timing. No, I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Wow. Tries to block the hook and tries to get the flash, but Draken actually dodges it and hits Shadow Lord in the process. This is leaving Shadow Lord and Shadow Dragon in a tight spot, but Shadow Dragon is deciding to open a door instead of being closer to the save. Wow. Both Shadows are going to be healing themselves up, but I don't think Rix is going to be able to get saved unless they make a instant move. Draken is not even trying to go for exit gates, considering they're on complete opposite sides of the map, but he does see both players, Shadow Dragon and Shadow Lord. He's going to be running straight towards Shadow Dragon. Let's see if Shadow Dragon decides to try and get out rather than lead him a little bit around the map. He's in a little bit of a pickle here. I don't even think he would be able to vault that window, considering he was on that 2-second stun. And Draken actually might be able to down Shadow Dragon and get this kill, but Shadow Dragon seems to be a little bit too quick, and since he is in the exit gates, he will have to exit, and he decides to leave the game. So that leaves Shadow Lord and Rixa with purple dead, and the doors open.
Yeah, Rixa being unhooked at the very last second of his struggle bar.
Yeah, that is actually impeccable timing coming from Shadow Lord, but he was across the map, so we expected some nail bitings to go down there. Wow. So Drakenator does do great in this game. Like I said, not a real strategy, but again, it's not like you can focus on a strategy with these players being so good at what they do and being such a well-rounded group.
Exactly. I believe he is currently sitting at a solid 27k.
That's incredible. That's an incredible score. It's no 30k with Wraith, but it is an incredible score nonetheless, and it will affect him positively in the long run. Indeed,
yes.
Wow, a great 360, kind of just running at Drakenator, taunting him a bit. Rixa is going to go down, and since he is dead on hook, I don't think there's much that Shadow Lord can do, but Draken is going to try and go for the 3k. Just chasing Shadow. I'm not sure where the hatch was. I know that you saw it, but if you catch up to where they're at, maybe you can let us know if Rixa even has a chance to crawl.
Rixa would have to crawl straight to the other side of the map. It was located behind that one yellow crane.
What in the world is Drakenator doing? Wow. I'm sure he just didn't want to miss that hit. But now comes the tough part. He's gonna have to find a Rixa. And with Rixa not bled out that much, he actually may have a chance to get to the hatch, but it's very doubtful.
I doubt it too. what the doctor right now needs to do is keep on his shock radius and pray to dear God that Rixa is going to hit Madness free, which would give away his location.
Yes, of course. I think he assumes that he stayed in the general vicinity, but he actually didn't. He went towards the crane and more towards the end of the map. He's actually very close to him. I think he could have gotten that find there, but Rixa decided to stay very still in tall grass, leaving it harder for the doctor to find him. The doctor actually may have had a small chance of seeing him. Oh, sees the feet. Yep, there it is. That's a 3K for Draconator. That's an amazing score. Not a perfect score, but an amazing score nonetheless.
A good start for him for the league season as well, to say the least.
I do worry though, because Red actually made the bold choice to go with Wraith, which is the hardest killer, and she did get 30k, so that is very impressive. And as well as being very impressive, it's going to be a lot easier for her to move forward in this tournament since she's knocked out the most tough killer. Alright, so we actually do have 31k from Draken. I think that's more. That may be more.
That is the first place in this bracket.
Wow, that's more than I got. I don't even think I broke 31k. That's amazing. Draconator did get a lot of points in that round. That's props to him. It was a great game too, because it was such a well-rounded group of survivors. Props. I think I am to bring it to an end here. Thank you for watching, and sorry for all the technical difficulties. It's actually my first time streaming. I mean, casting. So, thank you for bearing with me. Thank NUJ for helping me out here, and I hope you all have a great evening.